We are now on our last and final part of the 8-part empowerment series. We are going to wrap it up talking about anonymity. I left this part for the end because I'm going to cover a very small portion of it. I personally really don't hear this discussion unless it's involving one or two things: real estate and or an intellectual property holding company. So I just want to dedicate a small portion to it, but I still want to dedicate a portion to it just in case it's something that may apply to your particular situation. So if you are just landing on this video, I highly encourage you to go look at the other 7 videos, so that way you're getting a well-rounded, informative, educational, empowering breakdown of the LLC. Covered as much as I possibly could cover within this 8-part series, empowerment series. So really quick recap. We talked about from beginning all the way up to now, a brief history of the LLC, why it's important to know that history. It's not just giving you history. There's a key reason why I covered the history of the LLC. Then we asked ourselves some questions to see if the LLC is for us. We compared and contrast some other entities that you may register with your Secretary of State. But we also talked about some individual personal ways that you may operate business where you don't register with the state. And we talked about, what that may mean. We talked about tax considerations, tax implications, things that can trigger tax when you look at the LLC. What does that actually mean? We also talked about the proper formation of the LLC, from the type of management that you're going to register LLC with, to just knowing where to register your LLC, what to consider when you are deciding where you want to form your LLC at. And we talked about the operating agreement. We talked about how important that is. And we talked about piercing the corporate veil. And then we also talked about risk mitigation, how to mitigate your risk while using an LLC. And we're talking about assets, what to think about when you do it, what to think about what not to do when you do it. So now we're going to talk about anonymity. And again, anonymity is usually a conversation that's had when you're talking about real estate or you're talking about intellectual property. So it's a way of how can you register your LLC and pretty much be anonymous, so that your LLC is structured, is not necessarily tied to you.